You are a long hauler, a space trucker. Your route is quiet. The cargo is non-perishable. The pay is just enough. You drift through the silent deep, a lonely traveler on a forgotten highway. Stars dust the void around you. They are cold and distant friends. Your ship, the Wanderer, hums its usual song, a low thrum of life support and engines. It is a simple and honest life. Then the song changes. A new note enters the harmony. A strange signal, not quite sound, not quite light. It resonates deep in your ship's hull. It resonates deep inside your bones. Your nav computer screams with alerts. It shows a destination that is not on any chart, an origin point from impossible darkness. This is not a distress call. It feels more like a summons. Your training says to ignore it, log it, and move on. Company policy is clear on strange signals. But this pull is something else entirely. It feels ancient. It feels important. You cut your engines. You float in the absolute silence of space. The signal grows stronger, a whisper promising answers. Answers to questions you never thought to ask. You turn your ship toward the ghost signal. The company can wait. Your journey takes you far from known space, past dead stars and nebulae like shattered glass. The signal is your only guide. It leads you to a place of utter blackness, a patch of void where even starlight seems to die. Your ship's sensors strain against the emptiness. Then they find something. Something so large it defies belief. A perfect sphere of black, unknown metal. It absorbs all light and energy. It is a dead world, a construct, 1,000 miles from one edge to the other. Its surface is impossibly smooth. No craters, no mountains, no sign of life or power. It has drifted here for untold ages. A silent tomb in the graveyard of space. Your ship's insurance policy definitely doesn't cover this. You are a tiny mote of dust next to its sheer scale. You guide the Wanderer closer. Your curiosity outweighs your fear. You activate your deep scan array. A pulse of energy washes over the sphere. You watch your monitor, expecting nothing. But then, a change. A single line of light appears on the surface. It traces a perfect circle around the sphere's equator. Then another, and another. A web of light spreads across the dark metal. It is waking up, and it knows you are here. A voice fills your mind. It does not come through your ship's comms. It is inside your head, calm and impossibly old. It feels like a mountain learning to speak. The voice is made of metal and light and time. It is the mind of the great sphere. It has watched the stars die for eons. But it has never spoken. Not until now. It calls you by a name you do not know. A name it says is buried in your very being. Starlost child, it whispers in your thoughts. It says your kind once had a different name. You were not wanderers or scattered tribes. You were an empire that held the heavens. This sphere is a memory of that time. A cradle, built to wait for your return. It sounds much better than galactic lost and found. The voice shows you it is not lying. It has no reason to lie. The world around you dissolves. Your cockpit fades into mist. You are standing in a place of pure light. Visions flicker at the edge of your sight. You see silver cities on impossible worlds. You see fleets of ships that drink the light of suns. You see human faces, proud and powerful. They wear clothes of woven energy. They command forces that shape reality itself. You see a throne room of breathtaking size. A shattered throne sits at its center. It is made from a single, massive crystal. A deep fracture runs through its heart. This was the seat of your ancestors' power, the heart of a starborn empire. The vision shows you the moment it broke. A war that burned galaxies. A conflict so vast it broke the laws of star science. This was your history, a history that was stolen from you. The vision shifts again. The light of your ancestors' empire dies. It is replaced by a moving darkness. You see the enemy. They have no single shape. They are a tide of twisting, hungry forms. They are hunters of complex life. The voice calls them the They Who Bring Silence. The Voro, Khan. They swarmed from the dark between galaxies. They envied the light of your people. They sought to extinguish it forever. You watch as human fleets are broken. Worlds of light are consumed by shadow. The Voro, Khan, were relentless. They did not conquer. They erased. They left no trace of the civilizations they touched. Your ancestors fought with godlike power. But the tide was endless. The silence spread, and your great empire fell into ruin. The survivors were scattered to the far corners of the void, left to forget their own greatness. The voice, the warden of this cradle, pulls you from the vision. You are back in your ship's cockpit. Your hands are shaking. The warden explains more. Your ancestors had a power they sealed away, a strength locked deep within your genetic code. They feared what they were becoming in that final war. They chose to hide their greatest weapon. They chose to make their children forget. This power is your inheritance, the ability to see and shape the fabric of the universe, not with machines, but with your mind alone. A strength that made you nearly gods. A strength the Voro, Khan, feared above all else. The warden tells you this cradle holds the key to unlocking that which was sealed. But it must be earned. Your ancestors left behind a single, final test. The warden's voice guides you. It tells you to prepare for a trial, a test of mind and spirit. It is not a battle of weapons. It is a trial of echoes, a simulation. The machine will create a scenario from the old war. It will test your worthiness to carry the old legacy, to see if you are more than a lost child, to see if you carry the same fire as your ancestors. Many have been called. All have failed. You close your eyes and accept the trial. Your ship's cockpit melts away once more. You are not in a vision of light this time. You are on the command deck of an ancient warship. Before you is a tactical display. 1,000 enemy ships, the Voro, Khan, are closing in. 1,000 friendly ships stand with you. The simulation of an ancestor general appears beside you. He is grim and resolute. He gives the order. Charge! Your mind screams with the chaos of battle. Simulated energy beams lance through space. Ships shatter into silent explosions. The ancestor general follows the ancient doctrines. He sacrifices squadrons to protect capital ships. He forms perfect geometric defenses. It is a brilliant strategy. It is star science at its peak. But you see the flaw. The Voro, Khan, are not a fleet. They are a swarm. They have no logic, only hunger. For every one you destroy, 2 more take its place. The general's strategy is failing. The friendly fleet is being torn apart. The warden's voice whispers in your mind. This is the unwinnable scenario, the battle that broke the Empire's back. Every ancestor who took this test tried to win the same way. They tried to outfight the swarm. They tried to be better generals. They all failed. The warden expects you to fail too. It wants to see how you fail. You look at the tactical display. You see the cold math of extinction. You cannot win by fighting. The ancestor general barks another feudal order. You silence him with a thought. You are in command of this simulation now. You open a channel to the entire fleet. Not just your fleet, the enemies as well. You send a single, simple command. A command your ancestors in their pride would never consider. Disarm. Your ships power down their weapons. The Voro Khan's ships pause their attack. Confusion ripples through the enemy swarm. They are predators. They expect fear. They expect resistance. They do not understand surrender. You then give your second command. You order your entire fleet to transmit its energy reserves. Not as a weapon, but as a gift. You offer them the very power they came to devour. Freely and without a fight. The swarm hesitates. Then it begins to feed. It drinks the offered energy from your ships. The Ancestor General's simulation screams at you. He calls it treason. He calls it madness. But you watch the tactical display. The Voro Khan are disorganized. Their hunger is sated for a moment. They become a sluggish, confused mass. Not a coordinated weapon. You have changed the fundamental nature of the conflict. You did not fight the storm. You calmed the sea. The simulation ends. You are back in your cockpit. The great sphere of the cradle is silent. Then, the warden speaks. Its voice has changed. There is a new tone, something like surprise, or perhaps respect. It tells you that in 10,000 years of waiting, no one had done that. Your ancestors were warriors. They only saw a fight to be won. You, a Starlost child, saw a puzzle to be solved. You gave a human answer, not an imperial one. You have passed the trial. The warden declares you worthy. The sphere of the cradle responds. A section of the dark metal surface retracts. A hidden hangar bay opens to the void. It is ancient and vast. Inside rests a single ship. It is small compared to the warships of your vision. It is sleek and angular, shaped like a shard of obsidian. The warden calls it the Starbreaker. It is the last of its kind. The warden explains its purpose. It is not a traditional warship. It does not fire lasers or missiles. It is a weapon of pure concept. It was designed to fight the Voro Khan on their own terms. It attacks not their ships, but their very nature. It breaks their swarm intelligence. It turns their hunger into a fatal flaw. Your ancestors built only a handful. They feared to use them for a weapon that can kill a god, can also break a universe. You guide your small freighter, the Wanderer, into the hangar. You dock beside the ancient weapon. The Starbreaker is yours now, a key to a power you barely understand. You feel like a kid holding a fusion grenade. As you step aboard the silent vessel, an alarm blares. Not from the cradle, but from the Starbreaker itself. Its long-range sensors have awakened. They show something terrible, something your trial has caused. The warden's voice confirms your fear. Your actions, your successful trial, have sent a ripple, a resonance across the deep void. You woke the cradle, and the cradle has woken the enemy. The Voro Khan have felt it. They remember this energy signature. They remember the threat it represents. And now they are coming. Long-range probes and hunter-killers. They have warped toward your location. They are minutes away. You are alone in a forgotten corner of space, aboard a weapon you do not know how to use. The warden informs you that its own power is defensive. It cannot fight them. It can only hide and wait for another child. Your freighter is useless. Your only hope is the Starbreaker. The ship hums around you. It seems to connect with your mind, just as the warden did. Its systems feel like an extension of your own thoughts. You see them on your screen. Dozens of Voro Khan ships dropping out of warp. They are small, fast, and aggressive. They move like a pack of wolves circling the cradle. They begin to fire, testing the sphere's defenses. The warden's shields flare, absorbing the blows. But the shields will not last forever. This is your first and final stand, outnumbered, outgunned. In a ship you received just moments ago, you launch the Starbreaker from its hangar. You fly into the heart of the enemy swarm. The Voro, Khan's ships, turn their attention to you. They see you as an immediate threat. A flurry of dark energy blasts toward you. You do not try to dodge. You do not fire back. You remember your answer in the trial. You remember what the warden said this ship could do. It attacks their nature. You open your mind to the Starbreaker's systems. You feel its core purpose. You don't target a single ship. You target their connection, the psychic link that allows the swarm to think as one. You project a wave of disruptive energy, a signal that mimics their own hunger, but it is twisted. It is a reflection of their own predatory desire, a feedback loop of pure, unending need. The effect is immediate and horrific. The Voro, Khan's ships suddenly turn on each other. Each vessel sees its neighbor not as an ally, but as competition, as the ultimate source of the energy it craves. The perfect, ordered swarm collapses into chaos. They tear each other apart in a frenzy of self-destruction. They are consumed by the very hunger that drives them. It is a silent, terrible victory, a tactic they have never seen, because it was designed by a mind that refused to be a predator. The space around the cradle is now clear. Only wreckage and dissipating energy remains. You have survived. You have won. But the feeling is not triumph. It is cold. The Starbreaker is a terrifying weapon. It did not just destroy ships. It turned a living network against itself. It weaponized their soul. You return to the cradle's hangar. The silence is heavy with what you have done. The warden speaks to you again. Its voice is somber. It tells you that you have proven yourself. You are ready for the final truth, the last piece of the story. The vision returns, but it is different this time. You see the end of the Great War. You see your ancestors in their final councils. They are not just losing. They are winning. They are using weapons like the Starbreaker. They are developing things far worse. You see them extinguish entire Voro, Khan, nest worlds. Not just defeating them, but erasing them from existence. They are becoming the new silence. The vision shows a human general, his face filled with horror and resolve. He argues that they must stop, that victory at this cost is no victory at all, that they are becoming the monsters they sought to destroy. The war was not just lost, it was abandoned. Your ancestors made a choice. They saw two paths ahead: extinction at the hands of the Voro, Khan, or becoming galactic butchers themselves. They chose a third path: exile. They shattered their own empire. They broke their throne and scattered their fleets. They sealed their godlike powers away. They erased their own history. They cast their children into ignorance and darkness, not as a punishment, but as an act of penance, a desperate attempt to save their own souls. The weight of this knowledge settles upon you. You are the heir to this impossible legacy. The warden explains your new reality. The Voro, Khan, now know that humanity is stirring. The signal from your trial was a dinner bell for their entire species. A full invasion force is coming. It will take years, but it is inevitable. They will come to finish the war your ancestors started. You have the Starbreaker. You have the key to unlock humanity's forgotten power. You could reawaken the Empire. You could gather the Starlost children. You could build fleets and fight. You could win the war your ancestors walked away from. Or you could do nothing. Leave the cradle. Destroy the Starbreaker. Let humanity remain scattered and hidden. Hope the Voro, Khan never find the lost worlds like Earth. War or the quiet gamble of peace. This is the burden of knowing, the choice between two terrible futures, one of fire and battle, the other of fear and hiding. The Warden offers no guidance. This is a choice only a human can make, a choice for the future of two species, the one you belong to, and the one you now have the power to annihilate. You sit in the cockpit of the Starbreaker for a long time. The silence of the hangar is absolute. You think of the quiet life you had, the simple hum of your freighter's engines. You think of the proud faces in the vision, and the terrible hunger of the Voro, Khan. War or peace, offense or defense. Your ancestors chose exile. The Warden expects you to choose one of the two paths, but you are a child of the long silence. You see a different way. You do not choose war. You do not choose to hide. You rise from the pilot's seat. You walk to the Cradle's main console. You access its power systems. You will not reawaken the weapons. You will not build an empire. You will light a beacon, not a summons to war, not a cry of fear, but a simple call, a shepherd's call across the void, a light for the other Starlost children. You will gather the scattered tribes of humanity, not as soldiers, but as a family. You will tell them the truth. You will show them who they were, and you will let them choose their future together. The coming storm is not a war to be won. It is a truth to be faced. Before the Voro, Khan arrive, humanity will be lost no more. The Cradle's light flares, a gentle, hopeful signal. Your call goes out to the stars. The age of wandering is over.